in this great prayer, he doesn't just pray for them. It's not just about them. It's also about us. If you skip down to verse 20 and 21, here's what it says. Verse 20, Yeshua is still praying. I do not ask on behalf of these alone, but for those also who believe in me through their word. Verse 21, that they may all be one, even as you, Father, are in me and I in you, that they also may be in us, so that the world may believe that you sent me. This is the plan. This is the golden seed of the gospel of the kingdom. Okay, that we've spent 2,000 years searching, or trying to build it with our own hands. Okay, here it is. And I believe this in our day of restoration. It's that. Now, once we get that seed, okay, and you realize that's the mission, that's the call, then the church, which is essential, and the community of believers, we organize around this call. And if you organize your church around this call, it's going to look different and it's going to act different than the churches of today. Because in general, the churches of today are pools where people gather, but you actually want a river, okay, where that processes people. Okay, the church, believe me, is the beating heart. The church should be the beating heart of every society. But the goal of the heart is not to enlarge itself. Right? An enlarged heart is actually a disease. You don't want a larger and larger heart. You want a more and more efficient heart. Pumping the people in, discipling them, raising them up, healing them, restoring them, helping them to find their vision and their calling. And then you pump them out. And you pump some new ones in and you pump them out. The church is the beating heart. We want churches everywhere, but more efficient churches. Because the church is not the kingdom. The church is God's instrument to bring the kingdom, the glory of the kingdom, to the world. God's end result isn't the church. God's end result is the world. God so loved the world. He's going to come and rule the nations. Okay, and finally, this is what he told us to do. It's not just what he did. He told us to do this. I'm going to end with Matthew chapter 28 and beginning in verse 16. These are, according to Matthew, the last things he said to these same disciples. Matthew 28, verse 16. But the 11 disciples proceeded to Galilee, to the mountain which Jesus had designated. Right? These were, he had told them, I'm going to meet you in the Galilee after his resurrection and from the dead. Verse 17. When they saw him, they worshiped him, but some were doubtful. I mean, imagine. This is so truthful. I mean, after everything they've seen and experienced with him, there were some they're still, still doubtful. And this is what he says to them, verse 18. And Jesus came up and spoke to them, saying, all authority has been given to me in heaven and on earth. Go, therefore, and make disciples of all the nations. Okay, simple enough. Baptize them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe everything I commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. So that would include us. All right, because we're 2,000 years after them. We're much closer to the end of the age. In fact, this war that we're going through, I say it's prophetic because it's opening a window into the end of the age. All right, we need a restoration of zeal for the bride. And friends, every Christian and every Christian movement needs to be focused on producing this. The bride and the kingdom are the goals, the priorities of the Lord, and we all need to be about our Father's business. So let me leave you with those words. God bless you. And